Hello YouTube, my name is General Advance, this is Dota 2 and this is my introduction to Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit is an agility caster type hero who is often played as a semi-carry but is much better played as a support hero. So you can see here I'm going to be playing up as a hard support, supporting a Sven on the top lane. First thing I want to talk about, make sure you get a courier if you're playing the support and you're worried about other people not getting it. I do have two other people that I was on TeamSpeak with when I played this game, Punishment and Jovial Grace, but make sure that you're getting it. I knew Pun can be quite greedy when he plays Punishment, and it is Pun, whatever, I call him Pun, can be quite greedy when he plays Rubik. It's hard not to be when you play Rubik, to be honest. It's a very aggressive hero that, surprisingly for a support hero, does very, very well with stuff like that on them. Now, I did choose my hero and stuff a little bit late here, just because I was a bit unsure about how I'd be laning. I wasn't sure if Pun was going to be playing, if we were going to be playing with an off lane or we were going to be playing dual lanes, so I find out we're going to be playing dual lanes, so I eventually picked Vengeful Spirit just as a sort of general support hero. And you can see the first thing I start doing here, I make a little bit of a mistake in the way I do it, but I'm just going to be supporting the Sven, and I'm going to try and push this Invoker off the lane. So to do this, I'm literally going to sort of swap my health with his by just forcing him into a position where he feels threatened, by just continuously playing up on him. You can see how I'm continuously moving up, trying to trade hits if I can. If he does trade hits with me, it will trade pretty favourably for him. He does very low base damage, but Invoker's a hero that has very, very good regen from his Quas, if he's going Quas, which it looks like he's going to go Quas Wex, or possibly Quas Exhort this game. I don't particularly know. I'm also trying to give this Sven a little bit of a hand with lane control. You can see the lane's very, very well controlled this game, for the moment at least, and I was pretty impressed with this Sven's play actually, but my supporting play is what holds out for him a lot. So you can see he's I think he randomed, he's got quite a bit of, yeah, he must have randomed to have all that at this stage of the game. He hasn't used the courier or anything yet, so I noticed that I was going to go stack and pull, missed the chance to do it at the pull camp, tried to do it at this hard camp here. If you do miss the chance to stack a normal camp, try and stack any camp you can when your lane's completely uncontested like this. Well, it's not completely uncontested, obviously, because there's an Invoker here, but the difference is that even me, with my tiny 49 base damage, are very, very able to just trade with this guy, and this Sven's getting very, very good levels in farm at the moment. He's 13 to 5, which is pretty good. I'm also trying to stay out of the lane when the Invoker isn't there, and is obviously afraid, so that the Sven can get all of the XP from the creeps in the lane. It's very, very important to try and do this as a support hero. You can see I'm not just standing around doing nothing a lot of the time. Well, I am standing around doing nothing a lot of the time, but if I'm standing around doing nothing, I'm standing around doing it far away from the Sven, or at least far enough away so that the Sven doesn't feel in any way that I'm interfering with his farming. So lost a little bit of lane control here. So first, the way I'm going to deal with this, stack the camps. You do this by hitting one of the creeps at 54 seconds on the minute mark, and then running away. Generally into the lane is the best place to do it, and not always, but generally it's the most secure way of doing it. And then I'm going to try and hit it, and I screwed up. I miss hit. I did not hit the creep. You need to hit the creep again at 15 seconds or 45 seconds on the minute, and this will aggro the creeps. You can then run away to your own creep lane, or the enemy creep lane even, if you want to, and that will deny the enemy team those creeps. Those creeps will be killed off by the stacked pull. The reason you stack it first rather than just pulling from a single camp is then you will kill maybe one or two creeps with just one camp of creeps, and you will not deny enough XP. All you do is you'll double up the number of creeps in the lane, and this is a problem because then they'll get extra XP rather than less XP, and you'll lose control of the lane. It will push under their tower, and it'll be very, very easy for them to get XP, and it'll be very, very hard for you to get XP. So XP, very, very important. You can see we're already combined very well, out leveling the thing. I'm gonna get level 3 from this. He's not going to get any XP for a little bit here. He might get, yeah, he's going to get a little bit. He's going to get level 4. The Sven, however, is already level 5 at 4.5 minutes in, which is pretty damn good. I think it's better than yeah, it's about the same sort of leveling that Ollie's getting in the mid lane at the moment. Ollie had a bit of trouble in the mid lane at the moment. His matchup's not very favourable. He's up against a Clinks, and a Clinks pretty much beats Zeus, because Clinks beats most heroes. You can see there is one problem that the Sven's having as far as his build. He didn't bring any tangos to lane, I don't think, so he's going to have to use his salve at some point. Yeah, it looks like he's doing it now, which, you know, in the end turned out pretty well. And you can see here, the Invoker's trying to be cocky. He's trying to get a little bit more XP than I was expecting here. I throw out my stun, try and slow him down with a Wave of Terror as well. This will reduce the enemy armor. Then the Sven's going to throw forward, use his stun, and as soon as I can I'm going to use my stun again, and we're going to secure this kill. I probably shouldn't have taken the kill then, by the way. I should have left the kill for the Sven. He could very easily have got it. He's got much higher damage than me. I was just didn't realise that my stun was going to kill him. As soon as this is, you can see that I'm out of mana here, so I'm just going to use a clarity and make sure that I don't get hit by anything, because that will cancel my clarity. Now, another thing that I should talk about probably is the skill build that I go for generally on Venge. This is, I'm max Magic Missile. It's a very strong nuke, up to max 325 damage. It's much better than the average, which is about 280 I think average damage for most sort of single target nukes. Stun duration goes from 1.45 to 1.75, so the stun duration does not scale particularly well. Stack the camp again here, you can see pretty much whenever you get an opportunity to stack camp. If you're in a tri-lane, you should be stacking camps continuously as well, and I'll talk about tri-lanes another time, the next time I get a chance to play in one properly. Next skin I'm going to go for Wave of Terror. I think it's essential on Venge to get at least one level of Wave of Terror. It's just so good. It does do very minimal damage. The idea though isn't to get damage. It's a debuff of armor. It's -2 armor. This makes a pretty big difference. For those of you who don't know, 1 armor is equivalent to about 6% extra HP to physical attacks, so -2 armor is about -12% HP, so it's a pretty big debuff. When you think about it, it does a lot more damage than just 30. So it also provides vision, very useful. You can see I used it when we tried to kill that Invoker, and did in fact kill the Invoker after a while. And the third skill that I'm going to be going for, which I want to get at least 1 level of as well, is Vengeance Aura. This is a damage bonus percentage increase to friendly units' physical attacks in the area. Pretty similar to Drow's Aura, but does not scale as well, but does work on melee heroes. So knowing that we had a Sven, this is pretty much the combination of why I picked it. Lots of minus armor on the enemy, and lots of bonus damage to him. Combined means that he will do absolutely huge damage. You can see already it's doing about sort of plus 12 damage to him. It's a 12% bonus damage, and any opportunity you can see I can get to deal with this Invoker here. Very smart move from this Invoker. Kind of surprised that he did it early. Obviously this is something that he's tried to think about before, has at least theory crafted or something. I've never seen it before, but long lane Invoker going straight for Crosswex and instantly getting Ghost Walk means he can pretty much stay in XP range. The disadvantage is I can go buy some dust, so I've bought my boots here. You can see I've still got 2 tangos because I played the lane very sensibly. Any chance I've gotten sort of free last hits on the Invoker, but now he's going to get free XP. He's kind of already a problem because he's already quite under-leveled. I'm the same level as him, and basically the rule for whether you're doing well as a support against a solo on the off lane here is if you're pretty much the same level as him. So, and your carry is out-leveling him. So the carry is out-leveling him. The carry is level 8 at the moment. He's the highest level in the game, along with the Clinks, and yeah, the Clinks. So out-leveling their carry, which I believe is a Mirana. Is that Mirana bot? Yeah, out-leveling their carry, and I'm leveling the same as him. So I managed to give this Sven a lot of space early. This is very important. He's got some good items to do things with, but now I am going to need to get some dust on the courier or something. I am going to do this eventually. I think I was the one who upgraded the courier in this stage as well, and the Sven tried to go for a little bit of kill there, but sadly did not get the... he lost True Sight just afterwards, which kind of sucks, and I think Ollie got killed as well. So as far as the scoreboard looks, it looks like we're losing at the moment, but mostly we're not, because this is a sort of 4 Protect 1 strategy. It's not like properly done a 4 Protect 1 strategy. I'll show you a video of that at some point as well. I do have a game in which I do a defensive tri-lane. It's very, very much a defend the hard carry on your team. And you can see I've stacked up this big camp here, and I was going to let him take it, but apparently he doesn't want it. He's going to go and get the lane creeps instead. So I'm going to try and get the XP, possibly the last hits from these satires, but I'm a terrible last hitter sometimes. And I'm playing a support hero with terrible, terrible damage, although a very, very nice animation. So swap is my last skill that I've picked up. You can see I've started maxing out Magic Missile. The other two I've kept just at 1 level each. You want 1 level of each of these early, and then you want to decide which you want to get of each. Obviously both of these are late game scaling things anyway, because percentage bonus damage is, they're both percentage bonus damage essentially. And you can see we can't see this Invoker. It's getting very irritating at this point, and I'm definitely going to bring myself some dust. See, I've already bought it. Nether swap literally swaps where you are with your target. You can do this on enemy heroes or friendly heroes. It's very useful for both. If you're chasing somebody who you think is going to get away, swap them. If one of your friends is getting killed, swap them out of position back to your own lines. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work, and at the moment we're going to push this, but then the Clinks has come up top here. We're doing absolutely everything we can to save the Sven's life. Sadly it is not going to work, and yeah, this Clinks is going to manage to get away completely scot-free here, which is very, very annoying. Even with Ollie's ulti, we simply do not have the damage at the moment, and Ollie's got quite bad farm as well. Like I said, he really, really struggled in the mid lane against the Clinks. I'm not sure exactly how you play that matchup. Clinks is a pretty good mid lane hero, not often used in the mid lane, more used on the side lane, but still very, very effective mid lane hero. Luckily for us, this Nature's Prophet sucks. For those who want me to explain, there's a cool trick that you can do where you stand on ledges and hit downwards, but it's really slow, so why would you do it? It's really slow as far as farming and stuff. He's the same level as me. That is not good. He's Nature's Prophet. He's meant to be like loads of money. And this Clinks is just stalking us here. I had to suspect that he was here, so we're just going to kill him. It looks like map hacks or something then. It looks really cool. And as soon as that's done, I'm going to pick up my arcane boots. Generally this isn't completely advised, but we have a lot of magic nukers on the team, and so far I don't think anybody else has actually got arcanes. Okay, so yeah, other people have got arcanes, but it's only one of the heroes got arcanes. We do have a Sven on our team who suffers very, very badly from mana issues. You can see he has a very, very small mana pool. At the moment he can use most of it up popping his 3 abilities. I do have a small mana pool because my int gain is not very strong. I'm not an intelligence hero. It's an agility hero, which is what makes some people think that this hero should be played as a carry. It should not. It's way, way better as a support. It's very, very good at roaming. It's very, very good at lane support. It's very good in the early laning stages. It's not that good a hero later on. But I pick up arcane boots anyway. I pretty much like arcane boots on Venge. It means that you pretty much don't have to get any other mana regen item, and I think if you get treads you probably will have to get another mana regen item. Treads obviously will make you do a bit more damage. You can tread switch and do funky things like that. And Ollie manages to get a kill down bot, doing a nice little gank with the Nyx Assassin, I believe. I don't think Pun was involved there. Yeah, with the Nyx Assassin, gets a nice little kill down bottom lane, so that's cool. And again, this Invoker is playing funny business, so I'm going to just walk into the lane. I have dust. He knows I have dust. He should know this. I am the same level as him. I just want to make sure that I can see the footprints at some point, and then we're probably going to go for a kill on him. Let's see. No? Apparently not. I'm going to go use the dust. Immediately I stunned first. I thought I was going to be initiating this fight. We did stack our stuns really badly there. Obviously I can't communicate with the Sven, and normally I would throw the stun first, just because, well, I just would. I think, does my stun last longer? No, they're both pretty much the same duration. Stormhammer and Magic Missile are both very, very strong stuns. Stormhammer even better than Magic Missile. Magic Missile is known as one of the best stuns in Dota 2, just because it's a very, very reliable stun with a very good duration of very, very high damage for what it is. But the Sven already had Mask of Madness. He also used his ulti. It wouldn't have been necessary to use his ulti there if he'd waited with his stun. Obviously he was the closer hero, so I probably should have waited, left it for him, but now we've pushed this tower down with that kill. gave us a little bit of space. We had the creep wave in our advantage, we'd pushed it up, but sadly for me, Clinks really hates me, and Clinks is going to kill me, and Clinks is also going to kill the Sven at the moment, and you can see just how strong this Clinks is, even with really quite terrible items at the moment. I've got to say, I really don't understand the whole Soul Ring thing. Like, Soul Ring on Clinks is weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. But he's going to be going for his Orchid pretty quickly. So, things that have happened wrongly. We didn't have Sentry Wards. I probably should have bought Sentry Wards rather than Dust, because it's not just about trying to kill the Invoker in our lane, but it's about trying to defend ourselves against the Clinks. As well as that, I should maybe have called for some TP support or something, but none was really forthcoming, and I don't think particularly there are any other heroes other than maybe Zeus that could have done anything about that. And even then, the Clinks is very, very strong at the moment. He's on 1600 health using his ulti, $900 health used without it, but he's still much, much healthier than perhaps me, or Rubik, or Zeus. Zeus just died again. You see Ollie's have a really hard game this game. He does end up pulling it back, and things go well later on. But another thing I picked up, Ring of Basilius. Also, again, not really too necessary, given I have Arcane Boots already. I think normally if you go for a Ring of Basilius, you should stay with Treads. Pun is dead here. Pun is so dead. Pun is not quite so dead at the moment. No, he's pretty dead, yeah. That TP should probably be cancelled. It's pretty crazy TP there. But it ends up working out for him, because he just used it effectively. But I'm going to swap this Invoker backwards, and then lose sight of him because of a Mirana ulti. Luckily for us, that guy has an AoE stun that he can target in place, which is very, very good. But yeah, onto the whole Basilius thing. The only reason I picked up Basilius is I wanted to be able to push and such, and give us a nice aura bonus. And the next item I'm going to be going for to improve that is going to be a headdress, which is going to be leading into a mechanism. The reason I always get mech on Venge is she's pretty good at getting the farm for it. You do need somebody to farm for a mech in pretty much every game. It's really essential to get. Nobody else is the sort of hero that you would normally get it on. Nyx needs a lot. The thing is, Venge just doesn't really need any items, you know. You don't need any damage items. You don't need particularly any positional items, since, you know, you can often be a suicide hero with another swap. You gain very, very good auras and stuff. So it's very, very good to get on Venge. And you can see I've TP'd to the bot lane here, because I thought they were pressuring. And I decided to show myself in lane. This is probably a mistake in hindsight. Probably should have baited them in, but given there were 3 of them, I wanted to show myself in lane, and hope that they would then decide that it wasn't worth pushing, and that they should just not go there. So we're going to take this kill here. You can see again, swap the guy backwards just gives it a little bit of extra time, and I sort of waited until I knew that the shallow grave there was going to be off to throw my magic missile. I would have thrown the magic missile anyway, because grave is coming off soon, but I knew sort of when grave would come off. So I threw the magic missile, hoped it would kill the guy just as grave came off. Grave came off, killed the guy. Ta-da, useful stuff. And the Clinks is again being a massive pain in the ass this game. He is really, really strong throughout this game, but he makes an item decision choice later on that I think limits his damage. As well as that, we get good damage and such. And I didn't realise, I forgot that I was unable to attack at that point, and wasn't doing things correctly. You can see Pun's going to be chasing this Invoker at the moment, but again, they do not have any sort of detection. Sven's going to be going for a Mask of Madness Basher build here. It's a very, very strange build. I don't think I've ever really seen it before. I do kind of like the idea of a Mask of Madness Basher, you know, you can stand there and continually smack a guy to death really, really fast. Basher's a pretty good damage item, especially on a strength hero. But yeah, I don't know, it's a very strange item. So it does work pretty well with the whole mechanic of how Sven works at the moment, how people have been playing Sven. It's been a lot of Mask of Madness BKB builds, but at the moment we're pushing this tower and we're being ultied on. This is a very, very bad situation for us right now. You can see I throw my stun out on the Invoker just to slow him down, as well as my Wave of Terror. Sadly, I have died already but the Sven at this point does ridiculous damage. You can see just how much damage he does, and the reason he does so much damage at the moment is, well, part of it's because he random, so he started off with a bit more gold than usual. This means that his early game's going to be slightly easier, but as well as that, I made sure that he got a huge amount of XP comparatively. You can see how much he outlevels the solo mid-hero. He outlevels pretty much everybody else on the game apart from the Clinks, and the Clinks has 6 kills. So he got a lot of XP, he got a lot of farm as well, because I pushed the Invoker off the lane. The Invoker can't deny him very well already anyway, and he farmed very, very well. He kept control of his lane until we decided to push. Playing a support hero means... Playing the support hero that I did, in the way that I did, means that this guy, Jumpsoni, playing as the Sven here, he's now the strongest player on the map. He might not be the most maneuverable or anything, but he certainly has, you can see, he's already building up for a full Crystallis. See, he's got a Basher and a Crystallis at 20 minutes. This is pretty good farm, considering this isn't a pro game or anything, you know, and I'm not talking to this guy on Skype, I don't know him. I've never played with him before, but you can see how just keeping camps stacked up, keeping control of the lane, keeping out of the lane when you don't need to be there, has meant that whilst I have struggled for levels early on, I've managed to get them back a little bit later on. I am going to start finishing off my mech here, and another thing, 2 things here as well that I need to keep track of about my item build. I am going for a buckler, so finishing up my mech, as well as this, carried TP scrolls, and you can see even a Clinks, who is very, very strong at diving on heroes, is quite struggling to kill the Sven. Now, unlucky for us, the Sven was quite out of position there, I think. Really, at this point in the game, with the Clinks being so strong, Clinks is a very, very good ganking hero. He shouldn't be in a position where he's not with a support hero or within some sort of ward vision. Now, there was some ward vision there. However, we know, you know, their main hero that's going to be killing people at the moment is a Clinks, so he's invisible. So, you know, that's one thing that we should get up. We should get central wards up, but sadly I keep on buying dust, and this is a mistake this game. It should get some sort of detection, because they have Mirana, Invoker, and Clinks on their team. That's 3 heroes that have that go invisible, and we know that the Nature's Prophet also bought Shadowblade. So he also goes invisible. As soon as this happens, right, and this is something that newer players have a little problem with. They go, oh, well, that hero is invisible for, like, what is it, like, 12 seconds. You go, oh, they're completely OP. You're invisible for 12 seconds. Well, it would be OP if it wasn't for the fact that Dust of Appearance costs 200 gold. So that item that costs the guy about 3,000 gold, is it? 3,300 gold? I think it's 3,300 gold, is now completely countered by the thing here. And there's another thing that I should do as well. We know that Pun's going crazy there trying to do something about that guy, and I swap him backwards and stun him, and we are going to have to try and keep on following this guy. I throw out my Wave of Terror there and get the kill on him, but now the Clinks is going to be following us here. They also have complete invisibility. The Dazzle here too. This is just a bad situation all over. I'm feeling pretty dead here, to be honest. I throw out the dust there in case anybody else is coming to help. Nobody else is coming to help. I feel pretty dead, to be honest. I'm just going to keep on running though. Keep on running all the way up. As soon as I get up these stairs though here, I'm pretty safe, to be honest. And I'm in the AFK channel in the TeamSpeak that I'm in. So if you heard that, I apologise, but we will nuke the shit out of the Clinks then. You can see that's the effect of having dust. And the Sven comes in just for the kill. He ceases farming just to come in for the kill, and the Sven's doing pretty ridiculous damage now with this whole Basher crit slicey slice great cleave thing. But something I should talk about, there's too much fighting. At the moment you can see though how my laning, that's the most important thing from this game, to be honest, and that's the most important thing when you're playing as a support hero. Lane well. If you sit in the lane, you get no farm, you sap XP from your carry, and you don't push the enemy players out of the players out of the lane, you have completely failed in your job. I sat out of the lane, I used the pull camp to get experience, I used it to deny experience from the enemy, and I traded hits with the Invoker so that he would be pushed off the lane. Now remember, Invoker's a bad long lane hero in my opinion, even with the kind of clever ghost walk thing that he did. And you can see here, I'm just sitting with this Sven because this Sven's farming up quite far up, to be honest. I think this Sven was kind of crazy as far as like where he was willing to farm, but he's farming there anyway, so whatever. They have a ward here. I never realised they had wards this game. I didn't suspect they would, because they only have one support here, and I thought the Dazzle was probably going to be quite greedy or something. Finished up my mech now though. Based on that last team fight, we do have a dead courier, so I can't spend the rest of my gold on anything, and it looks like we might be going in for Roshan here. I think we're a little bit worried about just what might happen if we do, but I'm gonna start attacking Roshan anyway, throw my Wave of Terror on the Rosh, and hope that this Sven can kill him as quickly as possible, even throw the stun. And Sven managed to kill him quickly. Hopefully this guy throws his Quelling Blade on the floor, because that would be really good, because they could actually pick up the Aegis. He does in the end, and he kills his Quelling Blade when it's on the floor. But because of all those things I did, the Sven got very, very farmed. He didn't get particularly large amount of kills. We got a couple of kills in lane. That's fairly normal in a 2v1 situation. You should also get kills. But if you could completely throw out the lane, say if the Invoker got 0 experience, alright, and we got no kills on him, and the Sven got even more experience but no kills, he would still be doing just as well as he is here. Rather like the Clinks, who got lots of kills but didn't get particularly huge amount of experience. He went off roaming a lot. So overall we did things well, and I'm trying to get out of the situation here now because we know things are looking bad. We know the Clinks is going to be somewhere around here, for some reason the Sven doesn't know. But the Sven now is really, really farmed up, and that's, you know, at this point I feel like I've done my job well. Everything else from this point I just have to try and be sensible with. The Clinks really, really misdid his fight here on this Sven here. And he's going to pay for it pretty badly, but I think in a 1v1 fight, the Clinks still has kind of an advantage unless this Sven gets some pretty good bashes off. And another thing the Sven has to worry about is the fact that the Clinks can disengage at any point he likes, and then the Sven cannot do that. But Aegis is used up then, basically because of poor positioning on the Sven's part. He shouldn't have been all the way out there, and you can see, again, he's going to get killed twice now because of bad positioning. So this is the thing to carries out there who get farmed early. Do not throw away that advantage early. We are coming back into the fight now, the rest of the heroes, but obviously we weren't able to TP. There was no tower down here. A few of us did TP as close as we can. I'm going to jump in. I've got a Medallion of Courage here, so there's another minus armor item. I'm going to use it to, I'm going to use my ulti to pull the Dazzle out and try and get a solo kill on the guy. I'm going to leave the kill though for the Nyx Assassin in the end. Obviously the Nyx Assassin is much more useful. I'm going to throw my, we're going to chase this guy down. Sorry, my commentary then sucked. I know, right? But Medallion of Courage, another item that I picked up just before this team fight started. It's a very, very cheap item, costs about 1,075. It's a 7-second cooldown. It gives you plus 6 armor and a plus 50% mana regen. Very, very useful thing for Venge in general. It also is an active item that you can use on enemy hero or any enemy unit at all, including Roshan, so very, very useful for Roshan. It reduces their armor by 6 and your armor by 6. So essentially this will put your armor at what it would normally be like as if you didn't have a Medallion of Courage, but it will lower the enemy's armor by 6, and they don't have any armor items, or per se they do have armor items and you need to reduce that. It's very, very useful on a support hero who doesn't have to worry about getting focused down too much. I generally don't have to worry about getting focused down too much. I worry completely about whether the Sven's going to survive an onslaught by the Clinks. So the idea between this is any situation in which the Clinks arrives, I can stun him. There's more fighting going on in the middle. We're going to initiate on this guy in a very, very sensible grave there, and a really, really crap Nyx stun, and the Nyx is going to die for that. So I'm going to run up, use my mechanism in the middle of this, use my minus armor, all of it on the Clinks and any enemy heroes I can manage to get it on. Every time that the Medallion of Courage comes off cooldown, I'll try to use it, unless we're in a pretty sorry state like this where we're trying to retreat. I'm going to throw my stun on whoever's doing the most damage to the enemy team, or whoever's got the most abilities that he can pop off, and I sacrifice myself for punishment to get away here, and I say, "Pun, just leave, don't try to save me, I'm a dead man." You actually get Starstorm there, it's a pretty good ability. But the thinking behind this is Venge has very, very good sort of team fight presence. you throw out your Wave of Terror, which is now maxed out, so we do a -5 armor reduction on the entire enemy team. So say we're in a team, I'm in a fight with the Sven backing me up versus the Klinks. I can reduce his armor by 5 from 15 down to 10, and then reduce his armor with my Medallion of Courage down to 4. So it reduces armor by a great amount. I then boost up the damage of the Sven using my Vengeance Aura, and Sven, or any other hard carry who does a lot of damage, will now do a lot more physical damage to any target that he can choose. So this is very, very useful for focusing down heroes. Obviously, Wave of Terror is an AoE skill, so you can use it for more than just focusing down heroes, and you can see how I thought the Invoker might get away then, so I just nether swapped him back. Every time that a hero's trying to run away like that, if somebody's running away, almost always you know that they're either genuinely scared of you. They may be baiting, but most of the time you have to rely on the fact that they're generally scared of you, unless of course you have ward vision or you know that the rest of the team is missing. In that situation we knew where the rest of the team were. They were farming or they were dead. So we knew that the Invoker was running away, so I just swapped him back. Then he was in a much easier position for us to kill him in. He probably would have been killed anyway, but it's always useful to use swap because it's only on a 45-second cooldown, and when you think about it, it's actually a pretty low cooldown for an ultimate. Nether swap sounds like an ultimate that really sucks, like swap your place with another unit. It's like, oh, that's really rubbish, but you can even swap units into stuns and stuff. There's lots of very interesting things you could do here. And another thing that I'd like to point out is that with my build at the moment, I have very good pushing power as well. I can use mech on a wave if I want to, as well as have my Basilius on all the time, which I am doing at the moment. I'll turn this into Aquila later, and then throw out a Wave of Terror on a lane, and this will mean that my lane of creeps has much higher armor from the bonus armor from the mechanism, as well as extra HP, and it will also have bonus armor from the Basilius, and the enemy creep wave will have minus armor from my Wave of Terror. So pretty good push here. It's mostly passive push, not particularly active, obviously, other than my Wave of Terror. It's not particularly about me doing the right clicks, it's about the creeps pushing up. And looks like a fight's about to evolve out here. You can see I did use my Medallion of Courage on that person, but something very interesting about our team is that we have particularly huge nuke damage at the moment. Sven, me, or Rubik to an extent, and definitely Nyx Assassin, and even Sven, all have very, very high nuke damage. We all have very, very good nukes, which is something that the enemy team does lack. Klinks does not have a nuke. Prophet does not have a nuke. Invoker does have a lot of nukes, but he's not particularly able to use all of them until he's completely maxed out on items and levels, to be honest. It's very, very hard to get all your nukes out. Dazzle has a sort of nuke, but not a particularly great one. And Mirana does have good nuke power, but one of them is very, very unreliable. And here, something really, really bad to us happens. We get backdoored, because I was not paying enough attention. I'd not been warding up. Well, I had warded up far in the lanes. I hadn't checked, though, the equilibrium of the top lane for a little bit. And I TP'd back way too late. The Klinks and the Nature's Prophet both split push down the side. Both of them have invisibility, and both of them have very, very good ability to push. The Prophet from his ability to summon trees to extra creeps, essentially. They're not very good, but they do damage and they have a lot of health, so they are able to very, very well push the lane. And this puts us at the back foot at the moment, with one of our racks gone from the top. They did go for our melee racks, so very, very sensible from them. But and the Klinks has very good push power because of Strafe combined with Searing Arrows does extreme damage to towers and stuff, and Searing Arrows does stack on towers. It does do damage to towers, so it's very, very effective. But now at this point I'm kind of worrying about what items and stuff I can get. You can see I've warded the top lane a lot more now. I do have even the sentry ward like halfway along the lane. I've got wards protecting our jungle as well, so we have safe places for our carry and semi-carry to farm. But at the moment we're just sort of waiting for a good position in which we see the enemy to initiate on them. Remember, they're more likely to get an initiation than we are at the moment because of the large numbers of invisible heroes they have, and I walk up this high ground and get owned. I kind of went up here just to scout around and see where the enemy team were. We guessed they would be far up or farming, and it turns out they were far up. It's a pretty big problem for us at the moment, and Ollie luckily manages to get away. It's best that I go up there first and get killed. Whoever went up that high ground was guaranteed dead. Okay, so say if the Sven needed to go to the secret shop to buy a new item, he doesn't at the moment because he's going for a BKB, very very sensible choice. But say if the Sven or the Nyx Assassin or the Zeus needs to go up the high ground to go and get an item from the secret shop, if they go up there, they're dead. If I go up there, I'm dead. But it's much more important that I die rather than them, because at this stage of the game, my hero does not scale as well. Now, I'm still very useful. Don't forget that. Venge is a very useful hero throughout the game because of her Vengeance Aura. It's very, very useful for the heroes around her, but you'd rather have the Vengeance Aura on... you'd rather have a Sven alive with no Vengeance Aura than a Venge alive with a very good Vengeance Aura late in the game. Plus 43 damage for me is not very much. I do 104 plus 43 damage, whereas the Sven does 135 plus 391 damage. Admittedly, he has his ultimate on and he's trying to kill Roshan with it at the moment, but you can see just the difference in the damage that he does. He also does damage in a cleaving area, he has the chance to crit, and he has the chance to bash people for a 1.4 second stun on every normal auto attack. So it's very very important to sacrifice yourself for the carry in that way. I was technically sort of caught out of position, but we needed to try and find some way of getting up and gaining map control of our own side, and it's actually allowed us to do that now. They've had to fall back after misplaced fights since that. The Sven's managed to get Roshan, and I'm now going to be counter pushing the top lane, like I said before, by using my Ring of Basilius, my mech, as well as Wave of Terror to push the whole lane out. I'm not going to use my stun, because at any point an enemy hero could come out, such as the Nature's Prophet. It could be the Clinks, at which point I don't have a choice between dying or not, or using my stun or not, because he has an Orchid of Malevolence, which is a silencing item, which means I'm not going to be able to use my my stun or my Wave of Terror or swap or anything. I'm just going to die. I can try and run away, but the damage from a Clinks is pretty extreme, so that's not going to happen. But at this point in the game, like I said, just counter pushing, and I'm waiting for a good opportunity here. You can see they think it's a Nyx or somebody has a gem at this point, maybe. No? Ollie's going for a Bloodstone after 4 staff. This is a pretty interesting build on Zeus. Most people go Aghanim's Refresher. I like 4 staff on Zeus. Not particularly a fan of Bloodstone, although it does work pretty well. You do definitely need mana regen. And it looks like these guys are going to be going for a huge crit on the Invoker, and you can see now this is the point in which our Sven starts to become a complete monster on the field. He's level 20, so all his skills are maxed out. He's even got a few levels of his stats. As well as that, he's pretty close to getting maxed out items. He has an Aegis, he has BKB, he has Mask of Madness, and he has Daedalus. He could swap the Mask of Madness perhaps for something like a Satanic, or if he wanted attack speed still, he could get an Assault Cuirass. Both of those would be pretty good. And you can see, even though they killed the Aegis there from him, they're still worried about going on him. He's just such a tanky, destructive monster at this point. He does 143 plus 145 damage. He attacks pretty fast. He hits in an area around him. He cleaves. He also has the possibility of magic immunity from his Black King Bar, and extra attack speed, as well as lifesteal, but extra damage stacking on him from the Mask of Madness, which is one thing that does make Mask of Madness quite dangerous. And you can see, again, me in punishment at this point. I'm just trying to make sure that we keep on pushing this lane out. Obviously, this lane is going to push against us all the time, no matter what, because of the larger creeps here. But we're still trying to do what we can to keep it pushed out, because we know that the Sven is covered. It's okay for us to do this. Sven is covered at the moment by this Nyx Assassin with a very, very weird build with the Scythe of Vice and no boots upgrade yet, even though almost everybody thinks that Arcane boots are essential on Nyx Assassin. This guy disagrees. But at this point, they're going to start pushing uphill. They've taken quite a few kills on the enemy team at the moment, and the Invoker's going to do everything he can to slow this down. Me and Pun are going to just push this top lane out. This is kind of a mistake at this point. If we were with the rest of the team, we would be able to push the central tower down. At this point though, we wouldn't be able to. And you can see Ollie just force-staffed the Sven back a little bit there, and the Sven is kind of in a bad position here. He does not have a TP scroll. This is a pretty big mistake on his part, since everybody else knows, obviously, that we're out of position now. They've had to TP back, and he's now in the enemy jungle on his own with a load of enemy heroes out there trying to kill him. He is getting farm on the way out, but he should have left a while ago. The Clinks decided not to turn on him then, which in my opinion was again a big mistake. And Rubik and me just picked up a kill on the Nature's Prophet, who comes to split push down. One thing with Nature's Prophet, he will try to split push you, something that all Nature's Prophets try to do, all good Nature's Prophets at least. They often do pretty high damage, and they often have fairly good disable. You can see this one has a really good disable now. He has a Scythe of Vice, but the way to beat Nature's Prophet generally is to have heroes in the area at the right time in the right place. You know he's going to try and split push your lanes, you know he's going to try and push down towers, he's going to try and push down racks when you're not looking. Try and wait in ambush when you can. That's what me and Punishment did in that situation. And between the fact that he has a Gem of Truth right now, and it looks like he's going for a Rod of Atos so he can slow down anyone that's trying to run away. We're kind of useful. We have pretty good chase now at this point as well. But you can see us sticking together in this sort of buddy-buddy system means that now we can pretty much fight off even the Clinks, even though he has very, very good damage now. And I swapped that Clinks out just because I was a little bit worried about him getting away. I hadn't seen that the Sven was there, so I threw a stun and then swapped him backwards. It only swapped him further into our team. The kill was probably secured anyway, so the swap was kind of wasted, but I think I would have still used it anyway, even if I knew the Sven was there, just in case. And at this point you can see I'm kind of thinking about what to buy. I think someone said Pipe, and I was like, well, Pipe would be good, but they don't have that much magic nukes apart from the Invoker, but the Invoker's not that great. So I think our decision ends up being dodge the arrow, always dodge the arrow if you can. I'm not going to use my medallion in this case because at this point we're trying to run away. It's a 2v2 situation. They both hit much harder than we do at this stage of the game. We're both just support heroes. I swap this guy at the moment and try to pull him back because now Ollie comes in. I know Ollie can try and kill him, but it looks like we're not going to manage to get the kill in the end just because we do not quite have enough damage. But I'm going to go for Necronomicon units after this. This is going to further increase my pushing ability. It's also going to give me a little bit more intelligence and a little bit more strength. This will make me a little bit better in a standard one-on-one fight. As well as this, Necronomicon is a unit that pretty much, I don't think there's a time when you can complain about somebody on your team getting Necrobook. Necrobook is always useful. It burns the enemy's mana. For those of you who don't know actually, Necrobook is a three-tier item that you can buy. You keep on buying the recipes and it upgrades the tier that you're at. It gives you intelligence, strength, and it has an active use that will summon 2 little creeps on your side. These are stronger than normal creeps, obviously, and they have cool little effects where they burn the enemy's mana, and also the melee creep of those two does pure damage to any unit that kills it, and it's a pretty significant amount of pure damage as well. So it's very, very strong to get lots of Necrobooks versus very strong AoE lineups. Problem is that Necrobook is very, very expensive. You can see I've already got Necrobook level 1, it costs 1,250 for a recipe, so I can get Necrobook level 2 fairly soon after this. The Nature's Prophet and the Clinks are going to try and ambush us here. This is a very, very important point in the game. I'm going to get, I tried to swap myself out, but I also got force-staffed at the same time, so that was a little bit of a mistake from me. They're going to try, what they're trying to do is trying to push our base very, very quickly without us noticing and try and win the game without engaging on us. It's a very, very sensible move from us, from them even, but we all reacted by TPing back to base, getting back into position, using our dust and stuff and getting the kills. I was the only one who died in the end, and I did not actually need to die. Ollie force-staffed me out. I reacted slow, and I'd already clicked nether swap, so what happened was I got force-staffed out and then swapped myself back in with somebody who was slightly closer. If either one of those had happened, say if I just nether swapped, I would have survived. Or if Ollie had just force-staffed me, I survived, but because Ollie force-staffed me first, and then I was like, oh, I need to get out of here, like, after I was already out of there, I swapped with somebody who was actually closer to the fight, and then died because of it. Either way, we still got the kill. It did actually get the Rubik slightly closer earlier, which is quite useful. but it was still a mistake by me, definitely. I should not have swapped myself out, but who cares, because at this point we've now gained control of our jungle completely. As well as this, I'd like to talk about again the Sven. He is my priority in this game. He has been farming in quite unusual places. He's been farming kind of badly, to be honest, after the initial laning stage. He's been out of his position a few times. He should have a much higher score than this. He's currently 8-7 for 10. He's got 285 creep kills, as well as 13 denies. Let me just look at the last hits and denies. So you can see, even compared to the Nature's Prophet, he has way less creep kills, and compared to pretty much all their carries on the enemy team, he has way more creep kills, but comparatively bad KD ratio at the moment. But even so, he still managed to farm up a Heart of Tarask as well as the other items that he got. He's pretty much maxed out on items now. If I were him, I would not have got a Heart, I would have got a Satanic, and I would have sold my Mask of Madness for an Assault Cuirass. The reason I would do this is because you want attack speed on Sven generally. It's good to have a high attack speed, and you want a good lifesteal. Lifesteal is very, very crucial on Sven. It's very, very crucial on Sven to always be right up in the face of the enemy grill, attacking, which is why you get BKB. I'm not sure about Basher either. Basher's kind of a weird item, but I kind of liked it. I think it went well this game. And at the moment now, which you can see we're trying to stick in 2s or 3s here. I'm getting attacked by this Clinks, but 2 other people have come in to help me, and we throw everything we absolutely have on this Clinks there. And I think we might have had an opportunity then to kill him, but he does manage to fade with Moonlight Shadow, so even Ollie's ulti does not quite get him. I even used my Necronomicon units there just to try and get the kills on him, and you can see these are the level 1 Necronomicons. They get much bigger and much cooler later on in the game, but that's the Archer and the Warrior. See, that's his last will. 400 pure damage is very, very good. That's the Mana Break that also does extra damage for it. But again, I'm just trying to cover this Sven here at the moment. We know that they have one player down, so their split push isn't able at the moment. We have the top lane fairly well covered by Rubik and Nyx Assassin, and I'm literally just trying to keep these guys alive at the moment, and I cop an arrow there because I'm an idiot. But the Sven should stay right next to me, to be honest, at this point. And he sees that we're going in for a fight. He throws his stun, charges in, he's got his ulti on. No, he doesn't even have his ulti on, but he has his Mask of Madness on. You can see just how much damage he does at this point in the game with Mask of Madness on. As well as that, I'm also, you gotta remember, I also have my Vengeance Aura around him, as well as the minus armor that I am using from my Medallion of Courage and my Wave of Terror. It's doing huge difference for him. You can see my KD ratio, again, like his, isn't particularly good. I even have less kills than deaths. However, I'm a support hero. You can see I have huge numbers of assists. It's very, very strong. And using my Necronomicons here, the Nyx Assassin actually Boots have travelled his way onto here, so I'm going to use my mech pretty much. I think I should use my mech right now. But with that team wipe there in the enemy base, we were able to take Rax and go straight for the throne. So you can see there how I was able to play a support hero. I'm going to do another video pretty much straight after this one. I don't know if it'll be out straight after this one, on another support hero that I played in a slightly more serious game with more people. In fact, everybody on our team that time was in TeamSpeak, and everybody on the other team was also like a proper team, obviously, that we're all playing together. But you can see how I played a support hero in that game. Again, most important time for the support hero is the laning stage. Making sure that your carry survives the laning stage and gets good farm during the laning stage is absolutely essential, and you can see our Sven was the most farmed hero on the map, so I think I did pretty well. So thanks for watching, GG.